So it's fresh, it's clean. Welcome to Whisky.com, where fine spirits meet. My name is Lüning, Horst Lüning. I'm the master taster of Whisky.com, and today we have the very last of the Penderyn single malts. It's called the Celt. Celtic, yeah, probably. It's 41% ABV. It's mid-40s, euros, dollars, pounds. It's uncolored, and it's unchill filtered. At 41%, it's quite challenging, because if it turns cold, then you might see a little haze in it. And it's smoky, only lightly smoky. Where does this come from? Well, they use casks which held before peated malt whiskey. I walked over the yard in front of the warehouses and found those casks, but I was asked not to name those casks, and so will I do. I will not tell which whiskey was in those peaty casks before. Mild aromas of peat smoke, early morning at a rocky seaside, and warm marmalade on toast all compete for our attention. A very fresh and clean whiskey, beautifully distilled, gives pleasure from the very first sip. In the mouth, it begins with a great sweetness before the smoky, slightly medicinal flavors descend. Slightly bitterness follows that leaves a long, lingering, fresh taste in the mouth. So this one is... Sorry, the noise. So this one is finished in refill casks. So we do not have Madeira, we do not have red wine. We have a refill cask which contained a little bit of smoky whiskey. And if you suggest to have an extremely smoky whiskey between 40 and 50 ppm, then some of this whiskey stays in the cask, and one says in the porous walls, the staves, and some liquid as dropped somewhere, you have 2 liters of residue in those casks. And if a cask has roughly 200 liters in content, then you have 1% of this smoky whiskey in the final product. So 1% of, say, 50 ppm means 0.5 ppm in smoke added to the whiskey. This is not much. No, not really. So this should have a very, very little influence. And if you're looking here, it's really a light one. So the normal casks even had been some refill casks, or a mixture of first refill and re-refill casks. So I'm happy that they leave the color as it is and do not add artificial color to mimicry a longer maturation or better casks. And here we go. So it's fresh, it's clean, and it has a very little smoke. It's distinguishable. Well, I'm no native English speaker. You can detect it, yes. There's some malt in it, and there's a faint citrus note, yeah. Orange marmalade, probably, yeah. Yeah, with a little goodwill. There's more vanilla in it. This time the vanilla shows through. And the very light smoke just gives a cooling effect in my nose. Yeah. Mm-hmm. This whiskey, I think, matured for a longer time in the casks. So the subtractive maturation was able to act and reduced the youthness of the whiskey. So this one is more mature than the other I had before, and shows some very little smokiness, but you can taste it really. And this remembers me driving through the countryside there at Penderyn in the south of Wales. There you could see the old surface digging for coal. The Industrial Revolution started in Wales, in the south of Wales, close to the border of England, and there I think they had also some ore mines, so that they could start steel production, and the railway in England. Well, a lot of the rails came from Wales, and well, there's, of course, when the distillery opened in 2004, that Prince Charles visited or was present, because he is the Prince of Wales. So he had to be there because he is a whiskey connoisseur. He loves whiskey, and yeah, so there's lots of tales to tell. Yeah, the aftertaste is not too long. There is a whiff of smoke still there, but hardly to notice if you're not experienced. Orange marmalade is getting stronger. Yeah. Yeah, so this one is the most mature from the age, I think. The myth I had was the most complex with red wine casks, and the legend is the entry. And so are the prices rising from the legend of the myth to the Celt. Yeah. Thank you very much for watching. Stay tuned. There's more to come, as always. And do feel free to give your comments about these bottles in our whiskey database on Whisky.com.